Welcome back, everybody. Well, here to help us harness our chakra power is Yoga Jana.
Hello. We are so excited to talk about this topic. It's so interesting, but let's start off by talking about what are the chakras?
So the chakras are these subtle energy wheels in our body. There's hundreds of them actually in our body, but we're going to talk about the 7 main ones that kind of live, if you can imagine, the spine, from the base of the spine all the way up through to the crown of their head.
Okay.
And they're essentially these wheels of energy in our subtle body that get misaligned through circumstance, environment, situations in our past. And instead of like going through years of psychology and going and sitting with a psychologist, we talk about, hey, if we can just realign the physical body, we can then attach the physical body and the energetic body and balance the chakras.
Okay, right. And you even talk about maybe you can even get away from medications and things of that nature.
Absolutely, yeah, like things that we're addicted to just because like we get prescribed things when sometimes we just need to go inside of our bodies and we can actually have the solutions inside of our bodies.
Okay, let's get started with them because you're going to talk about the 7, are they the main chakras?
Yeah, they're the 7 main chakras.
Okay, so the first one is the root chakra.
Right.
Where is it and what is it?
I love this. Yeah. So the root chakra right there. It's the base of the perineum.
Everyone's got one.
Right. So it actually sits at the base of the perineum, and this is our material security. So this is our roots, like our foundation, our families. And when this chakra is balanced, we feel really secure in ourselves and with our family relationships. Now, what happens with chakras...
When it goes out of line.
Right, so when it becomes unbalanced, the first chakra especially we find over-consuming. So anything to make us feel grounded.
Like
so
overeat?
Overeating.
Overdrink alcohol?
Overdrink, drug addiction, things like that. But when this, and then the physical ailments of this are things like constipation, obesity, anorexia, a lot of things to do with food because it's our earth element.
And is there any sexual dysfunction or anything like that in that area?
It could lead to that because if you're not grounded and secure in yourself and with your surroundings and your family, that eventually goes up the chain.
Got it. Okay,
right. So the next one is the sacral?
The sacral. So pretty self-explanatory. Again, it's right in the sacrum, so in the pelvis, in the actual pelvis area, in the pelvic basin. So that's where it actually sits and lives.
Okay.
And again, so this one is our dislikes, our creativity, our sexuality. It's our water element, right? So think of fluidity and movement.
Okay. And so when it's out of balance, what are some of the signs that you're going to see?
Right, so sexual dysfunction, urinary tract infections, bladder infections, things like this. Again, if it's ragistic, we call it, so if it's overactive or spinning too quickly, think of a wheel of energy spinning too fast. These are people who have like sexual addiction, problems like this. Or the inability, sexual complete dysfunction.
So the opposite.
The opposite.
Wow. Absolute opposite. Is there any physical signs about the way the body moves or anything like that you could see? Could you spot it on a person?
Well, I think like people who are generally tight in this area and who don't have that that ability to let go.
So you can't really do this very well. Like you can't do this or something wrong.
People who dance like this, generally, women, look for your dancers. There's something we said about that.
You got yourself a problem.
You know.
He ain't going to be doing any of this.
There's something about those South American men.
You can tell if it's just out of line or if it's gone too wacky or if it's not wacky enough.
Yeah, and even people physically can even walk like that, right? Like if people who are overconfident and like they've got that swagger.
You see those guys, it's like, hey, baby, you know you like it. Hey. You know, the Fonz was like that. Yeah. He walked through the door and you saw it coming before he got there. Right, okay, let's go to the next one.
What's the next one? The solar plexus.
All right, so this is our powerhouse. So this is like right in our core, right?
Like that's right in the belly.
Right right in our navel solar plexus, and this is our esteem, our confidence. Basically, our power, right? It's our powerhouse. So
is this one of the biggest? It sounds like when you say powerhouse, is this kind of like central core? Like
yeah, and it's our personalities, right? So again, boisterous, like people who have a lot of ego. You can see those people a mile away, right? Again, they walk with their belly forward, thinking like they own the world. You know?
Right. And then there's people who are maybe recoil and go into themselves.
Right.
Is that the opposite?
They're more introverted. You know, those types of people.
Protecting themselves, almost a little bit afraid.
Absolutely.
So what happens when this goes out of line?
So I mean, in terms of like physicality or just ailment-wise, diabetes, things like that, any kind of digestive problems, right? Think about everything that happens in the belly, how we digest stuff. And our element here is fire. This is our fire, right? So
is stress helping this, making this go off? Like a lot of stress in your life, would it be attacking you there?
Yeah, it would, because I mean, the adrenals and all the different glands that kind of sit in this area of the body as well are affected by an unbalanced Manipura chakra.
Right. So let's talk about the heart chakra. Oh, this is the heart chakra. Breathe.
Breathe.
But you think it's love and that kind of things, but is that what it is?
It is, but it's basically the connection between our physical, being and our spiritual being. So the heart chakra becomes this place of like, what's going on in our head and what's happening in our bodies, right?
Yeah, okay.
And a lot happens here because we store so much here, right? And then if we don't let go of it, which we're going to talk about in the third chakra, or in the throat chakra coming out, it kind of gets trapped there, right? We have this inability to love, or...
And what are the symptoms of it? Like maybe a racing heart?
Yeah, circulation, any kind of immunity problems, any kind of chest infection, people who are chronic to, any kind of bronchitis and things like that. Yeah. Usually it's their heart chakra that is not, it's not balanced, right?
Right. This is fantastic.
Now the other side of this is like this over heart chakra, people who are like very dramatic, oh, duh! Like everything is like, oh yeah, like just like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Meanwhile, they're at home and they're like, I hate myself.
That is a whacked out chakra.
Yeah, that's a whacked out chakra.
Too fast. And what is that called?
That's called rajastic. So it means it's like spinning out of control, right? We want to, and then some are just like not even moving. So think of it as a wheel of energy.
Okay, so the next one, because I don't want to,
throat chakra.
We have 2 minutes left, so I want to make sure we get to them.
So this one is our communication, so the voice of wisdom. So what happens here in our heart and between our head and how we communicate it to the world. So really important in terms of communication and our ability to communicate effectively and properly.
If it's out of line, what are the symptoms? What are the signs?
Again, so throat problems, strep, things like that.
Yeah, you get strep. You have had strep.
I
You get colds a lot and your throat sore.
Yeah, so we gotta work on balancing and bringing that energy. Wear a lot of blue. Wear a lot of blue.
Really? Wear a lot of blue. Okay.
Yeah,
like I wear a ton of blue, but I don't shut up.
Yeah,
so
all the colors.
He's so quiet, and then I just blah, 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 blah.
My throat chakra.
And people who
I need to put a plug in my throat chakra.
Plug it up.
And then so let's like the third eye. So
that's right in the middle of the forehead there. Yeah. So this is your third eye, your intuition, your ability to have insight, right? Creativity lives up here. That woman's intuition. Again, people who have overactive third eye chakra, they're completely delusional, right? They can't even they live in their head, literally. They literally live up here.
My naturopath, Dr. Holly Fennell, she always puts an acupuncture needle right there. Always. Every time I see her, she just, before she even does a consultation, she just walks over and goes like that. Boop, you're good. Okay, let's keep going. She's like, okay, he's good. She's trying to mess with this. She's trying
to mess with it a little bit. Get it going, get it stimulated. Because you work in television, so that creativity is really important, right?
Maybe that's why,
So that's interesting. So that's all happening all up in here. Like this is, you're connecting your head.
It's everything. And memory and things like this, people have amnesia. Again, these are problems and things we can meditate on and focus on to help things like that in terms of the physical ailment.
Awesome. Last but not least, let's go to the crown chakra. I'm going to jump
right on the crown of the head, So this is our, our crown chakra. This is our connection to spirituality, God realization, whatever that God is for you.
Right.
And having the ability to connect with that spirituality and move that energy down through the chakras.
So from the crown, these literally have to be in line, right?
Exactly, yes. So we start from the feet up physically to build the body, but then we bring the energy down through the chakras.
And through yoga, Jan, your yoga, your form of yoga, you keep us aligned. This is what you're trying to do, is keep these aligned, right?
And I don't tell people I'm doing this.
You just do it.
It's just spinach in the chocolate cake. I get their bodies physically aligned first, then they just start feeling better. They make better eating choices. They make better choices in communication.
Love choices.
And it's just because we're physically better, healthier.
And you don't have to walk like this with it all hanging out.
All the time.
Just walk with more security. Okay, this is interesting.
Fantastic.
This is very fascinating stuff.
Everybody grab your yoga mat, because right after the break, Jana took us on a chakra yoga session, which was really, really, really cool.
It's really fun.
Get your yoga mat. Do it with us.
Hey, my chakras a bit off today. Hey, what's up, babe?
Coming up, be the MVP